Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Or morning, or night. Whatever it might be for you. It is so lovely to see you all tonight. Today, I have a fun little thing planned for what is just kind of a chill and hang out sort of vibe. But the main attraction for this evening is this here. Mushroom Spotters deck. It's kind of like a tarot deck, but not quite. So, this essentially like a flashcard set. But it does come with a lovely little guidebook, which I think is so cute. See here it says the Mushroom Spotters deck. A field guide to fungi and their age-old wisdom. And then on the back, there's another little snail on a mushroom. Inside this, there's a couple different little pages about mushrooms and a pretty big introduction, but with a little defining terms and mushroom anatomy section, which I think is so cute. See, like here's this mushroom's cap here, and then we have the stem, of course. If they hatch from like a little egg, it's called an egg. The mycelium, the pores, the teeth, the gills, the scales. Super cute. And a bunch of pretty big mushroom words, which I will certainly take the time to learn eventually. But I thought it could be really fun to look through a couple of the cards and read them together and learn about some mushrooms. Now, I am absurdly passionate about mushrooms. I'm a big fan. If you couldn't tell, I'm a really big fan. They are my Christmas holiday themed nails this year because I get a little bored of like snowflakes and trees and ornaments and stuff like that. So I did mushrooms. So my favorite part about this deck is that they are all like drawn instead of pictures, and I love that. It really highlights, I think, the like most important part of the mushroom, because someone's taking the time to write and draw the whole thing, so you're not gonna like get kind of confused or possibly focus on parts that are less important, because obviously they're living things, you know, so everything is imperfect, but with an illustration you can really choose where to put the focus, and I think that's really cool. Ooh. So the first one is called the ghoul fungus. Then it has some information about the mushroom. So, this mushroom gets its common name from the preferred habitat of dead animal remains. It is attracted to the nitrogen that is released during the decay process. This fungus grows in clusters and can be spotted growing near the same decaying carcass over multiple years. Its stem, cap, and gills are pinkish-brown color. The stem is cylindrical and thick, bulging towards the base. The convex cap and it's sticky and flares upwards as it ages. The pinkish-brown spores can sometimes be caught in the cobwebby partial veil that is collapsed along the stem. The ghoul fungus can be found in Australian eucalyptus woodlands as the weather begins to cool. And then they do have a little, sort of tarot card meaning along the bottom, which I think is pretty cute. Which this one means that tumultuous situations are behind you. The path ahead is peaceful. So there is a scientific name, which I'm not going to read because I was only a biology major for 2.5 years, so I did not get good enough at reading those. It doesn't have any other common names, and it is in the guild category, and the trophic type is saprobic, or probic, and its habitat is carcasses. I did not mean to pick such a morbid one first off the bat. So, let's see what's up next. The jack-o'-lantern mushroom. There are over 30 species of mushrooms that glow in the dark, one of which is the eastern jack-o'-lantern mushroom. By day, these fungi appear bright orange in overlapping clusters at the bases of trees. By night, they glow a bioluminescent green color and produce about as much light as a firefly. The western jack-o'-lantern mushrooms glow much brighter. The eastern jack-o'-lantern mushroom, which is poisonous to humans, is sometimes mistaken for the sought-after chanterelle mushroom. The main visual differences between these two lookalikes is that the eastern mushroom possesses deep, true gills, while chanterelles have ribs or folds on their surface. Chanterelle mushrooms also appear more solitary, growing singly or in pairs, spread out on the ground, while eastern jack-o'-lantern mushrooms prefer growing in clumps on decaying wood. This category is guild, and it has the same trophic type as the other mushroom, and its habitat is decomposing wood. So cute. I didn't think about it looking like a chanterelle, but it totally does. Let's see if I can find that one. Oh, this one will be cute to look at too. We'll do that one too. There's the giant puffball. I have the same issue I have with a lot of normal tarot cards, which is just that my hands are too small. To hold all of the cards. chanterelle is in here. I saw him earlier. Nope, different orange one. The sickener. Some of them have really funny names, I will admit. Eyelash cup. It's literally going to be at the end. That is so rude. Portobello. Will it be next to the other edible one? No, just the reishi. Oh no, I can't find it. Based on the design, I don't think these actually look too close. But we'll still read about them anyway. Golden chanterelles are some of the most well-known wild mushrooms. They are bright yellow or orange in color, similar to an egg yolk, and are easy to spot along the forest floor. The cap is a wavy funnel shape with smooth top and forked irregular folds, which are referred to as false gills. Running down the stem. Their flesh is solid, never hollow, and they have a fruity aroma that smells similar to apricots. They tend to pop up a few days after a rainstorm during the warmer months, although they can still be spotted in the soil around hardwoods, primarily oak, as the weather begins to cool. Golden chanterelles can be found in Europe. So now you know the difference between those two. Very important, I'm sure. I picked out kind of a lot that I thought would be interesting. So maybe we'll pick a couple of these to go through. What do you think? What are we feeling? Let's do this one. The sickener. Oh god. Maybe we don't read about this one. This one's a little gross. But look at the cute little slug. Every purchase of the sickener mushroom will come with a little slug. This mushroom is also colorfully named the vomiting Russia because it can cause extreme gastric distress if ingested. The sickener mushroom has a bright red convex cap that depresses with age, leaving an indent at the center of the cap. The edges of the cap are ridged, showing evidence of the tightly packed gills underneath. The gills are white, as are its spores. This mushroom has many other red or Ursula lookalikes. That's the scientific name, so that's its, not, is it species? Species, and then, yeah. The sickener grows mycorrhizally. Mycorrhizally. With conifer trees. Conifer? Conifer. Especially pine or spruce. Coniferous. So conifer can be found with the damaged cap due to it being a preferred food source for many slugs or snails. You can usually find the sickener growing singly or scattered in Asia, Europe, North Africa, and North America from high summer through fall. This is a guild mushroom, and its trophic type is mycorrhizal, and its habitat is the conifers. And that one is definitely a no-touch. Let's definitely not do a morbid one. I feel like we've done a lot of this in a row. Could do the shiitake. That's always a good one. Or the jelly baby. Or yeah, let's do a couple of sweet ones in a row. Maybe not actually sweet. I don't know if they're safe to eat yet. We'll learn together. The shiitake mushroom, also called the sawtooth oak mushroom and the black forest mushroom. It is a guild type category, and its trophic type is saprobic, and its habitats are the hardwoods. This native to East Asia is now cultivated throughout the world. Records of cultivation date back to 1209. This species is saprobic and prefers living on dead or dying logs. The cap of the shiitake is light to dark brown with a domed umbrella shape with edges that curl under. Immature specimens can appear hairy on cap and stem with gills that are densely packed and covered by a thin veil. As the shiitake matures, the cap splits into sections that resemble a tortoiseshell. Shiitake mushrooms tend to grow in overlapping clusters and typically fruit during spring and summer. These ones are good. Now, continuing along the route of edible, here we have the black truffle, also called the Paragold truffle. It is in the Ascomycete category, and its trophic type is the mycorrhizal. Its habitat is underground beneath hardwoods. Black truffles often stunt the growth of other plants nearby by releasing toxic chemicals into the soil, a process called allelopathy. Allelopathy. The mature fruiting body is black and covered with bumpy texture of pyramid-shaped protuberances. When sliced in half in youth, the flesh of the mushroom is white and marbled. The insides darken as the fungus ages and spores are produced. This mushroom is known for its particularly pungent smell produced in maturity, which has been linked to sulfurous alliums. The aroma attracts hungry animals that will dig up and snack on the fungus. The spores will pass through the animal unscathed and be spread. This rare fungus tends to fruit in the cooler months, is native to France and southern Europe. How cute they are. I have never gone truffle hunting. I would love to. I feel like that tends to be one of those things that you only do with people that really know what they're doing. And then you just get to cook with awesome mushrooms that are super expensive. Now, we have this mushroom, which I believe is kind of the, most well-known of the mushrooms. I think if you ask someone to draw a mushroom, they'll probably come up with something relatively similar. But from what I remember, it's not edible. I think it's poisonous. see. We'll see. I don't remember exactly. We'll have to figure it out. This is also called the fly amanita mushroom. And I think I have definitely heard it called amanita. I think agaric might be my first time hearing it. In its immature stage, fly agaric resembles an egg emerging from the ground. As it grows, its universal veil crumbles, and the remains linger on the cap to form its iconic spots. In maturity, it has a wide-brimmed red cap, which fades with sun or rain, patchy white spots, white gills, and a skirt-like partial veil on its stipe. This mushroom prefers growing under trees just as the weather starts to cool. It can be found across Asia, Europe, and North America, and has also been introduced to the southern hemisphere. The name, fly agaric, derives from its use since the 13th century as an insecticide in dairy farming. The Beyoncé of mushrooms, fly agaric is the quintessential red and white mushroom everywhere in pop culture, like the mushroom emoji, and is said to inspire the mythos of Santa Claus and his flying reindeer. Amanita should never be eaten. Some can cause liver and kidney failure, and even death. I really left the most important at the end there. Buried the lead a little. Love it though. The Beyoncé of mushrooms. I love scientists, they're so silly. So, the last 4 that I picked out are probably not going to be particularly edible. So I am going to veto one of them. This one does not have a lot of information about it, so we'll put that one there. These ones have a lot more reading. So, I think we should start with the death cap, because this is a very, very, very poisonous mushroom. One of the most poisonous mushrooms in this deck, this toxic toadstool initially appears like all other amanitas. These guys are buddies. These guys are pals. These two. I apologize. Enclosed in a round egg-like sac called a universal veil. As the mushroom expands, the veil breaks, staying attached to the bulbous face of the mushroom like a little bag. The cap has a creamy greenish or yellowish tinge with white gills and stipe. The top of the cap is smooth and can be sticky after a rain. The annulus, or ring, is attached to the top of the stripe, giving the mushroom the appearance of wearing a frilly white skirt. Cute. Death caps are mycorrhizal fungi and grow alongside their favorite trees, both conifers and hardwoods. Formerly only found in Europe, death caps now grow all over the world on the roots of oaks, pines, and nut trees. They tend to fruit from summer to fall. These guys would be fun to see in person. I don't even know why. I feel like I just see like I'm seeing a celebrity or something. I feel like, oh, you're the mushroom. Next up, we have the shaggy ink cap mushroom. These ones are so cute. This species has a very distinct look and is easy to spot for the novice mycophile. That's us. That's you and me. That's you. That's you and me. We're in this together. We're novice mycophiles now. It is sometimes called It is sometimes called a lawyer's wig or shaggy mane due to the cap being covered in scales that curl upwards, resembling hair. I'm so sorry, that's so silly. Can you imagine being like, oh, what mushrooms did you find? You're like, I found a lawyer's wig. When the mushroom is immature, it has a long white oval cap. As it ages, it opens and darkens. It can grow to be quite tall, with some growing almost 2 feet tall. It has a partial or universal veil that is absorbed by the stem as it matures. One of the most curious facts about the mushroom is how it produces spores. When this mushroom is mature, its gills dissolve into a black, inky fluid that leaks off the edge of the open cap, releasing the spores. Growing in small clusters, these mushrooms can generally be found from spring through fall throughout Europe and North America, in grass, fields, or on your backyard wood chips. That's so interesting. Wood chips would be, I think, a little nerve-wracking. Because a lot of times that's like playground territory. Though it doesn't say that they're particularly poisonous. It also doesn't say that they're edible. Don't go eating those, but don't be afraid of them either. Do not fear the mushroom. For the last one for today, I thought it would be really cute to talk about the hedgehog mushroom. I just think they're really cute. A hedgehog mushroom may look like a normal cap and stem mushroom at first glance. The underside of the cap shows off the mushroom's unique, spiny underbelly. The spines are densely packed and look almost like fur. They bruise an orangish color when handled. Spines of this mushroom travel onto the top of the stem and gradually fade. The stems are thick and often grow slightly off-center to the cap. The cap and stem are both cream-colored, but grow a tannish orange with age. The caps also become more lobed and curly as they mature. These mushrooms prefer to fruit in late summer through fall, and can be found growing on the ground, singly or in small groups in a leaf litter, reappearing in the same trees from year to year. Hedgehog mushrooms grow in Asia, Australasia, Europe, and North and Central America. I have never read Australasia before. I do apologize. But I really hope you all are doing well and having a lovely holiday, and I hope you have enjoyed looking through our mushroom cards together, and definitely keep an eye out for a couple shorts around discussing what type of mushroom you may or may not be. Thank you all so much, and I hope you all have a lovely break if you have one for class, school, college, or if you're working, then I hope you really enjoy usually a tiny break from holiday season. Good night. Good night. Sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep well.